All right, so this is Eugene Driscoll and Ethan Fry in the Emergency Operations Center in the basement of Derby City Hall in Derby with Charles Sampson, who's the director of Derby's OEM. And thanks for taking a second to talk to us, and we just want to get this out to the people, let them know what's going on today in Derby. And I understand that you just closed, or the city just closed, the floodgates along the Housatonic River?
Yes, earlier today we determined what high tides were coming because of the full moon with an extra high tide. With that, the storm surge predicted still to be anywhere from 8 to 11 feet above the high tide. We closed the storm gates, the floodgates across the Metro North Railroad tracks this morning at 8 a.m. And they will remain closed until tomorrow sometime we deem that the high tide will not be affecting us.
And the threat at this point, and the reason that's being done is because essentially, from what the governor said last night, the concern is that the Housatonic River will actually flow backward from the Long Island Sound. Is that?
Yes, even yesterday at the high tide around 11 o'clock in the morning, we did notice some low-lying areas of O'Sullivan Island had already been backed up and was flooding. With the high tide tonight, which is the one we're most concerned with around midnight, we've taken the precautions of closing the floodgate because we believe that that is going to be the highest tide during this storm.
Wow, so O'Sullivan's Island was already getting a little flooding yesterday.
Yes.
That's unusual to be that early.
Well, this is a very large storm, and it's affecting the ocean, and the winds are actually pushing the water into the Long Island Sound. So,
and we try to drive in to, usually we go up and over past the WPCA
right.
pumping station. That's the public shouldn't we go back there?
No. People should stay in their houses from 2 p.m. today until at least early tomorrow morning. Nobody should be out, period, unless it's an absolute emergency that they have to leave their residence. There will be no access to down by the old fire school, O'Sullivan Island area now. Stay off the Greenway down by the Housatonic River. The police have been notified. They will keep an eye on that area, but that area is pretty much off limits to the public at this point.
Okay.
It's just not worth endangering your life to go down there and just take a look at high water.
Okay. And then in terms of, I know McConaughey's Grove is always an issue whenever the water rises. Is that something you're concerned about today? Or I know you were talking to people last Friday down there.
Right. We are concerned. However, the rainfall total for this event is not expected to be in an area where we feel that the Housatonic between the Derby Dam and the Stevenson Dam will reach a flood stage that they'll have to worry about there. Lake Leelanau and Lake Zoar were both lowered to the lowest minimal level that normally First Light and Power does lower it to. But once again, we don't believe that the rainfall is going to be enough to put us into an issue there.
So is it wind and power outage? Is that sort of the big concern?
The biggest concern is, as of 2 p.m. today, we will start seeing 50-mile-per-hour gusts, and the gusts are predicted to go anywhere upwards to 85 miles an hour. Those are some of the strongest winds that this valley area has seen since the 1938 hurricane.
And then in terms of a shelter, Derby Middle School is ready to go if need be?
Currently, we do not have a shelter open. We do plan on using Derby Middle School if we must for our primary shelter. If for any reason we need more accommodations, we will split the town up into an east side, west side, and use Bradley School as our secondary shelter.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to add that I'm not asking that you want to tell people?
There are a number of things. You could check our Facebook page, Derby OEM, for a number of updates. We are going to be putting out a press release. If you do have to go to a shelter, things like medications, a blanket, a pillow, we will supply a cot for you and an area to sleep. But, important things that you may need. What I don't want is people that, when the power goes out, think that they can ride this out and not contact us. We do have a number down here at the EOC, which is 203-736-1459 that people can call if they need assistance from emergency management for anything. We will find the resources to help them. The second thing is for trees and power lines down, do not assume that the power lines are dead. They could very well be live. Don't go near that stuff. Once again, curiosity is what kills a cat, as they say. Please, for trees down and lines down, if it's a severe emergency, 911, go to the Derby Police Department. If it's just a routine call, I would use the Derby routine lines. They will forward you to whatever resources also need to come out there and mitigate the hazard. They will also be making a list of areas where trees and lines are down and forwarding that to us, so we will be doing the follow-up over the next few days.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks a lot for taking a second.
Anytime.